Alright, what's up? You got Dana here, and I haven't done this in a really long time, so bear with me. I'm gonna give y'all a quick recap of what I thought of yesterday's battles. I did have the time to catch them on the Caffeine app, and thanks to a lot of people harassing me over several years, I finally have the mental bandwidth to get back and try and review again. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts. Hopefully in the future these can get a little longer winded, but right now I'm just trying to get comfortable with the idea of even reviewing. I'm so out of the loop. There's so many battles that I need to catch up on. Please leave down in the comment section below the things that are most relevant, the things that I definitely need to give a watch. If there are any that you definitely want to hear my thoughts on, leave them. But anyway, first battle of Loso and Emerson Kennedy. It was a really dry battle. It was definitely an opening battle. I didn't think one way or the other of it. The guy who won it, at this point I don't even remember. It was a 3-0 for him win, but it was a really dry battle. So unfortunately I don't really have anything of note to say about it. The next battle on that card was the Jerry West versus Danny Myers battle. It irked me that Danny Myers choked in the second. I feel like Jerry had a great story angle going in the first and the third. It was a 3-0 again, but I think a big part of the reason why it was a 3-0 was the fact that Danny Myers choked, and he choked so bad, and he, as far as I know, was never somebody who choked. This could all be misplaced again because I've missed a lot of stuff, though. Please catch me up, give me a hip, let me know. The B-Dot versus Holmzie the God battle. B-Dot? I don't know this dude, but I absolutely love this battle. The first round was solid. I felt like the entire first round, and hell, even in the third round, Holmzie was really self-righteous, really preachy, and that's great for a round, but it started to get preachy, and I found myself being like, everything you're saying is true, and we get it, you're a good person, but we all have our flaws, and it's just not that deep. And I personally love when, if that's your angle, you use wordplay to make that angle really pop, and I just felt like it was just, young man, you need to be better, young man, and I just couldn't get behind that. B-Dot was really dope. I feel like B-Dot had spots in his rounds as well where, again, it was a little self-righteous, but at least he had the wordplay behind him. He really out-rapped Holmzie. I enjoyed him a lot. Like, if there are other battles of his that I need to be checking out, y'all please let me know. There were moments where Holmzie kind of had to conjure up reactions, I felt like, too. Not to say that the crowd was against him or anything like that, but there were definitely a lot of moments where he was explaining his bars, and that's one of my personal pet peeves when watching battles, is like when you go back and you actually rap in an explanation. I hate that shit with a passion. That was an easy win for B-Dot. I wasn't personally crazy about all the bipolar bars that B-Dot had for Holmzie, but I get the impression that that's an angle a lot of people use against him. And unfortunately for Holmzie, you took all this time in your rounds to be preachy that the stuff that B-Dot was saying about his bipolar disorder in the third was kind of warranted. So as far as personals go, they were hitting a lot harder because, again, Holmzie felt the need to be really self-righteous his entire battle. I really enjoyed B-Dot's first, and that third, there were moments where I was like, ooh, even though Holmzie lost, I would love to hear what else he's got because he sounded like he's a really solid rapper. As far as who had the best rounds, my personal favorite rounds from B-Dot was his first, and then I enjoyed Holmzie's second a lot as well, even though, depending on who you ask, and in the feed during the live battle, again, this was another 3-0. Like, Holmzie had a really weird way of setting up bars that I noticed, you know, over explanation. Holmzie was also kind of on the defensive in his second too. He had like this pre-buttle setup thing that he was doing, which would have probably worked a little better in the third because a lot of the things that he was pre-buttling, B-Dot didn't bring up till the third. Preachy or not, it was a good battle. So again, personal opinion, personal preference. Yeah, B-Dot's delivery in that third round, I just believed him more. And I think, and this is something I didn't really appreciate years back, but like, your delivery and your believability when you're saying certain things carries a lot of shit. He could have been talking complete nonsense, but just that delivery and the way that it was wrapped, I believed him. You know, he brought up his kids that were on the spectrum and stuff like that. A lot of it just, yeah. I bought that more. We get into the Mook versus Tay Roc battle, and I will be completely honest with you, this is the best battle of Murda Mooks that I've seen in a while. A lot of people don't like my Murda Mook versus Iron Solomon battle review. I stand behind it. I think the Murda Mook versus Iron Solomon battle, regardless of Mook winning that battle or not, just wasn't a good battle in general. I don't feel like that's a battle that a lot of people go back to and watch. Keeping that in mind, that was the last time I saw him. So it's very important as I talk about what I'm about to say, that being my last impression of him. I've seen lots of Tay Roc battles leading up to this point. I did watch the Daylight battle. I thought he lost that battle, but I still think he had a great showing. Daylight was just showing his ass, and I think that's really what it comes down to. Mook had a really strong first round. Toward the end of that first, it was a little rappy, rappy. There was like a cough drop line or something in there that I remember I really enjoyed. The Raw to Rock line in that first I really enjoyed too. Tay Roc had a pretty solid first as well. The first is super debatable. I still don't really have my mind made up on that first. And again, my thoughts currently are based on one watch. So you'll see where we end up towards this. Okay, so then we get into the second round. Mook had a line, something like "see what you got left," that I really fucked with. The Paul Bear flips, I couldn't fuck with. Some of them were mumbled, and I'm just like, Again, it was getting real rappy, rhymey, wasn't amounting to much. I didn't fuck with it. Tay Roc's second, I really enjoyed. I took the sloppiest notes. Tay Roc brought up the shit with him co-signing that white girl. That was a line that stuck out to me because I was on social media like, nigga, use a cone for that. Like, Mook, use a cone. But yeah, I personally enjoyed Tay Roc second way more. That Paul Bear stuff was a miss for Mook. And again, this is off one watch, so bear with me. So we get into the third. Mook had a lot of tranny talk and personals that I don't know if it's true or not. I absolutely hate it when battle rappers say, I swear on this person and that person, say I'm lying. We just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hit me with some text messages. You know what I'm saying? Put the camera up and show, you know what I'm saying? Play the audio. I don't know if that shit's true or not. Keeping that in mind, if we're basing it off technicality, if we're basing it on a bar for bar thing, I feel like Tay Roc was rapping more. So I'd probably end up giving the third to Tay Roc just based on the fact that like he didn't rely on the personals. I don't feel like a lot of the tranny personals that Murda Mook had were particularly that clever. Like, take your angle and use wordplay in a way that makes it so that you really want to believe that shit. Make me believe outside of just, nigga, I'm a thorough ass nigga, I'm swearing on mama. Like, I just need you to rap it and make it sound good. So currently I have it 2-1 Roc. However, I feel like if I were to score it, it may have been a draw because I go back and forth on round one in my head right now. But I'm like, man, I wonder if I'd have watched it more times and had the time to like go line by line, how I would feel. It was a really close battle. It's the best Mook that I've seen, and I think that that's worth noting. It's like, it's not really a win when now you've made it so that your paydays are worth what they're worth. I've always kind of had this issue with a lot of the OGs now that are getting these big purses because y'all get these checks, you don't do as many battles, you come in talking about how much money you're getting, and you know, you ain't no prize fighter to where, you know, every showing is this knockdown drag out and you kicking ass. Like, remember the last time I saw him, he was in a mediocre 5-rounder with a guy that was not where he is currently. So B-Dot versus Holmzie battle was my favorite on the card. That battle for me was the one that had the most replay value. There were a lot of forgettable things on the card, but you got to have filler to lead up to the main event. And as far as Mook and Tay Roc's concerned, they were a solid main event. There wasn't too many dead spots in between the battles. I know there were people in the comments trying to rush the process, but considering that I've been to an event, I mean, it's been years ago now at this point, I've been to an event and how long of a delay there typically is, they're getting through the battles really quick. So I appreciate that. I enjoyed watching it. I hope to review some more stuff. Please leave down in the comments all of the battles that I need to catch up with and watch. And maybe I can give y'all some first impressions, first watch reviews until I'm all caught up, because I have been busy being a mom, going to parent-teacher conferences, just adjusting to life in the Pacific Northwest. I am not the girl that I was all them years ago when I first started reviewing. So my personal preferences have changed on the things that I enjoy. I remember I used to be somebody that really enjoyed the technical aspect of battle rap, and I'm definitely now somebody that probably enjoys more delivery and performance, and I never thought in a million years I'd be that girl. So who knows how I feel now about a lot of these battles. So again, leave down all the stuff that I should check out down in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts were on the battles, which ones you enjoyed, what was your personal favorite on the card, and until next time, peace.